Welcome Geckopia fam, it's Chris Choi. Welcome to another reptile video. Today's video, I'm going to be answering Blizzard Leopard Gecko Morph that a lot of people want to know about. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, and before I begin, as always, I'm going to be giving you guys the history information and the characteristic, genetic traits, and lastly, combinations. This is one thing that I added for this video, which I'm going to show you guys what kind of genetic you can mix with the Blizzard and what the outcome is. So I brought some couple of example photos that you guys can see and check out. So later in the future, if you guys are thinking about doing any of these projects, stay tuned and watch the video till the end. But without further ado, let's get started. So starting with the history, Blizzard was actually found in 1995. And the mutation is considered to be one of the true leucistic. And for those who may not know what leucistic means, it's like a partial lost pigment in an animal, like a feather or scale or skin. For example, pigeon. If you look at one of those example photos, just Google it. They have those white feather with the darkish color together. Those are basically like a leucistic. I guess the pied galaxy, which I went over previously, may be considered as a leucistic too. But basically this is one of the gecko morph that is considered to be a leucistic, and that is why they don't have any pattern. It's just white or dark or gray or yellowish color with no pattern at all. So that is basically the brief history about the Blizzard. And the next step for the genetic part is going to be the recessive. I think this one doesn't have a lot of discussion over this, but it is definitely a genetic and it is a recessive. So if you're thinking about doing this, make sure you're aware of those hat, visual sort of things. I've been including this information in other videos, so you guys should probably know it already now, but it is a recessive. Next up, it's going to be the characteristic, and about the Blizzard line, it has no pattern, which I have covered that already. And sometimes it has a dark color with this morph. So it can be white, it could be yellow, brownish. Some people say purple and gray. I guess that's similar to blue-black. So those are the things that happens when you have a Blizzard line in your leopard gecko. And also one other thing, this is the important part. Most of the Blizzard that you see in the market technically has a hat tramper albino. It's really hard to find pure genetic nowadays. For example, WY, tangerines is a little bit easy, but it's still hard. And pure snow, all those things has somewhat combinations to it. So when you see Blizzard, make sure you look into if there's any albino in there, whether it's a bell, tramper, or the rainwater, but mostly it will be tramper albino, because tramper albino is one of the most common albino and one of the morph that has the most combination with a lot of morph. So it will be somewhat important, or it will be good information for you guys to keep in mind when you guys are working with this. And fourth, it has dark color, as I mentioned already, and normally those don't really have a other combination. It could, but most likely they call it, in other words, midnight Blizzard. I'll have an example photos. Actually, in my last slide, I had a genetic slide. If you go back and review the video, I have an example photo what the midnight Blizzard is. And also some people say it has a gray and whitish coloration. Now next up, since I went over all the information that you gotta know about the Blizzard, I prepared some of the combination part. And starting with the Blazing Blizzard, I put AKA Diablo Blanco. There's one thing that I wanna kinda give you guys for this morph. Blazing Blizzard is technically not a Diablo Blanco. Diablo Blanco, I put it in there. Reason is because when you see people saying Blazing Blizzard, it probably means it has some kind of albino. It could be tramper, it could be rainwater, it could be bell, and all those sort of things. Like if it has any of these albino line with the Blizzard, then they call it as a Blazing Blizzard. But as I said, tramper albino is one of the most common out there in the market.
So I just put it as AKA Diablo Blanco because Tramper is one of the common one within that Blazing Blizzard category. And this is one cool information that I found while I was doing research about this, which when you have a Diablo Blanco, it's a Tramper albino blizzard, they tend to show this eclipse appearance on their eyes. It has nothing to do with the eclipse, but when you have a Tramper albino blizzard, it somehow gives your gecko with a black eye or marble eye or snake eye appearance. It has nothing to do with the eclipse, so just be aware. And I'm going to be explaining something about this at the end, so stay tuned. So yeah, that is the Diablo picture, and one on the left is a basically Tramper albino Diablo Blanco. It's a bit more like gray whitish color, and on the other side, Blazing Blizzard has a yellowish white. They're technically similar one, but I just gave you a little bit different pictures just to give you a little bit difference, but it could still be the same. They could still look the same. It's just depending on what kind of albino in there, and genetics are really unpredictable. So sometimes your gecko can be a little bit yellowish, but I just give you some multiple pictures for you guys to see it and as a reference. And next combination is going to be the Banana Blizzard. This is a mix between Murphy patternless Blizzard. I think they call it as banana because their color just reminds me of banana. I guess that's why they call it. But basically, that's usually how it turns out when you have a Murphy patternless and Blizzard together. If you guys are interested about the Murphy patternless, I'll probably go over in other video in the future. So if you guys are interested and want to know about it, write a comment down below and I'll cover that for you guys and do some more research to give you guys some better informations. And next up is the White Knight. This is one of my favorite morph. Reason why I say it's one of my favorite out of all the Blizzard combinations is because when you hear White Knight, what can you think of? Me personally, it reminds me of Black Knight. You guys probably know it's one of the most attractive gecko out there. I personally think that. But yeah, the name is very similar except the white. It's a white. So if you have this, you pretty much got all the knights. Black knights and white knights. I wish I have this in my collection, but oh, dude, the price is just way too expensive. Although black knights are more expensive, white knights, they're somewhere around $1 grand if you are getting some good quality. And this genetic has Bell Albino and Blizzard and Eclipse. So 3 genetics in this line. And normally when I compare with other Blizzard combinations, it tends to be more whiter. I guess that's why they call it White Knight. But I definitely think this is a really good morph, except the price is just a little bit high for me. So I can't get them right now. I don't think it will go down, and there's a reason why they are priced so high. There's always reason for that. So maybe in the future, if I have enough budget, I'll definitely try it out and share it with you guys if I have enough budget. But yeah, that's one of my favorite one out of all the Blizzard combinations. So if you want to work with them, try out yourself. And the other line, this is a Sunrise Blizzard. This morph has a Tangerine and Tramper Albino. Basically, this morph, as you can see in the photo, it has those silverish white color, and you can definitely tell that it has albino lines. I did cover this information in my albino video, so if you want to check that out, I'll put it somewhere right here in the upper corner so you guys can click that and learn about the albino. But it has a silver white color on their eye and yellowish color on its back. Next up is going to be the Sunset. This one is very similar to the Sunrise, but this one does have an albino line. So as you can see, the color of their eyes are dark, normal eye appearance. So that is the one big difference. And also albino lines tends to make the color a little bit brighter. So when in this type of case, it will be more yellow whitish color, but without albino lines, it will be just a little bit more solid yellow colors. It's not guaranteed, but technically the albino lines tends to give that whitish color when you work with them. So if we want more solid tangerine lines, just get rid of the albino lines in them and work with tangerine or blizzards together. And since I went over most of the combinations, there are a lot more combinations out there, but this is one of the most common ones, so I wanted to go over this. If there's something other combination morph that you want us to go over, actually, if there's some other morph combinations that you would like me to go over, let me know in the comment, and I'll do some research for you guys and share it in this video. But for my last slide to end this video, as I said, when you're working with the Eclipse Blizzard, make sure you have the gecko that is proven. For example, Hat Blizzard or proven Eclipse Blizzard. The reason why I'm saying this is because when you have Diablo Blanco, Tramp Albino genetics with the Blizzard, they tend to have this eclipse appearance on them. So if you mix with something that you're not sure of and it shows the eclipse eyes, but technically it doesn't carry the eclipse, then you or your client who is working the same with your line will struggle a lot going forward. So make sure you do some research about this part if you really want to work with it, because when you look at their eyes, it's just very similar to eclipse, and you just can't tell if it's coming from that Trump albino area or the eclipse signs. So make sure you work with the proven ones together to find the most accurate information to get the best result, and be transparent with everyone when you share your gecko with someone who's thinking about doing a project, because you just don't want to go through those bad dark side at the end but there's a big issues with your lines. So I highly recommend always go for something that is proven and reputable breeder, and that will make your life so much easier. So that is one of my advice there. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you got a value out of this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you have any video that you want to see in my next video, write a comment below, ask me a question, what you want to watch, what you want to learn from me, and I'll do some research over that topic and create another video like this to answer your question. If you have any friends who like Leopard Gecko Morph, don't forget to share with them, because these videos that I share every Saturday in 8 AM in Pacific time are very easy to understand in a very short amount of time. So if they're thinking about doing their first project for Leopard Gecko, definitely hit me up. I hope you guys get a lot of value out of these videos. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment all the questions. That will give me a lot of good ideas what to share with you guys and what to do. So hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next Saturday, 8 AM. Don't forget, 8 AM in Pacific time. God love. Peace out.